Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be open to you. These are some of the most beautiful words ever spoken. But I don't believe they are simply a promise. I believe they describe a law of life. Because notice the order. First, ask. Then, seek. Then, knock. None of them are passive. Every one of them requires movement. Many people pray for wisdom, but never study. They pray for opportunity, but never prepare. They pray for peace, but continue feeding anxiety. They ask, but they never seek. They seek, but they never knock. And perhaps that is why the answer seems so distant. Asking is the beginning of awareness. Before you can receive anything, you must first recognize your need. Pride says, "I already know." Humility says, "Teach me." Every great journey begins with the courage to admit that you do not yet have all the answers. But asking alone is not enough. Then comes seeking. Seeking means your prayer begins to shape your life. You don't simply wish for truth. You search for it. In books, in silence, in conversations, in failure, in nature, in your own heart. Because truth rarely appears to the curious observer. It reveals itself to the sincere seeker. And then comes the final step. Knock. This is where faith becomes action. You can stand before a door your entire life, hoping it will somehow open. But eventually, you must lift your hand. Knocking is the willingness to risk rejection, to apply for the opportunity, to start the business, to have the difficult conversation, to forgive, to begin. Because faith without movement often becomes wishful thinking. But there is another layer to these words that touches me deeply. Sometimes, the thing we ask for is not the thing we truly need. We ask for success, but God gives us patience. We ask for strength, and life gives us challenges. We ask for wisdom, and we receive difficult seasons. At first, it feels like our prayer was ignored, but perhaps it was answered in a language we did not yet understand. Because God is not only concerned with what we want, He is concerned with who we are becoming. And sometimes, becoming the person capable of carrying the blessing is the blessing itself. Maybe that is why not every door opens. Some doors remain closed, not because God has abandoned you, but because wisdom knows what your emotions cannot yet see. A closed door can be protection. A delay can be preparation. Silence can be guidance. So continue asking, continue seeking, continue knocking. But don't only ask for the life you desire. Ask for the wisdom to recognize the doors you should never walk through. Seek not only success, seek truth. Knock not only on the doors that promise comfort, but on the doors that shape your character. Because in the end, the greatest gift is not that every door opens. It is that every sincere step toward truth changes the person who is doing the seeking. Perhaps the promise was never simply that God would open every door. Perhaps the greater promise is that every time you ask with humility, seek with sincerity, and knock with courage, you become someone capable of walking through the right one.